Welcome back everybody. So this is gonna be a quick update video for you guys on stock market, and before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to get my daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and you want to support the channel, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. Dow is down 0.36%, Nasdaq going up slightly 0.21%, S&P staying absolutely flat on the day, and Russell going down near 1%. And here's 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500 on top. We got leading the way energy, technology, basic materials, utilities, and then lagging behind real estate, communication services, industrials, financial, consumer defensive, healthcare, consumer cyclical. And what we got here on stock market map, we got consumer defensive, we got big names like Walmart and Costco going up over 1% today. We got Tesla going down 1.25%, Amazon staying flat, Meta staying flat, Google going down near 1%, Apple going up 0.60%, Microsoft also staying flat on the day, but the showstopper is right here, Nvidia, which is up over 4%. Some of these big banks, Wells Fargo is down over 1%, and JPM and Bank of America kind of a flat day, and then regional banks are also going down. So that's the scenario right here from stock market map. So we got some big data this morning, but it didn't really do anything because if you look at my screen, consumer inflation expectation came out at 11 a.m. and I was expecting maybe some sort of a move, but really didn't do anything. And you can see, actual is 3%, previous 3%, forecast was 3% as well. So did basically nothing. But that's not the main thing, guys. The reason for bringing this up, we do have some key data, the big ones that is coming tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. PPI data, and then on Wednesday, we have the bigger one, which is the CPI. So I don't know why they're even putting PPI first and then CPI. So there is something, going on right here. But, that's not the main factor. Main factor, what the numbers are. Are they actually coming down or it's actually going up? So this is where investors and, everyone will be looking at these numbers. And that is where you can see a big spike back in the market, which is down still now. Or we can see the sell-off continuing to the downside, and this was just a dead cat bounce, and this was the next data to bring the market down even lower. Now on Thursday we also have retail sales, then we got jobless claims and all that. So a lot of the data coming out, and we do have some earnings. I think Home Depot and some of the other earnings. I don't have the calendar here, but we do have some earnings this whole week, and then on top of that we also have some Fed speakers speaking this week. So there is a lot going on, but the key thing to take a note from is that CPI coming out Wednesday morning, and then also we got PPI coming out tomorrow morning. So what's happening here on SPY ETF? Well, we actually got nowhere today. Came back up and retesting this orange moving average right here, which is a 13-day moving average that I used right here. And you can see it's sitting near 535, and we got up to 536 almost, and this is also a big resistance area right here, 535, and we got a huge rejection, came back, and now pretty much trading, and not going anywhere. Volume also drying up on this rally to the upside. You can see, we got huge volume here, and the next day we also had good volume, and now everything is kind of drying up as we're just grinding and going higher. So what's the thing that can actually happen? Well, two things definitely. We got high, then we got a low, lower high, and then another low. This was another lower high, and then we flushed it down to a brand new low, and this could be anywhere, I would say 543 to even 539.43. This gap can act as a big resistance right here on SPY ETF. We can still put in a lower high and then go in and put in a new low, or at least equal lows down here, which is near 510. So SPY ETF, this is definitely can play out. Now if the data is really bullish, let's say inflation already falling off the cliff and numbers are so good, yes, we can see a reaction. But also keep that in mind, that reaction can be faded. And why? Because then the rate cut comes into play. And the rate cut means one thing, that things are not looking good behind the scenes. And that's why Fed, they're forced to do rate cuts. And if that happens, one way or the other, rate cuts are not bullish. One way or the other, yes, things can bounce. We might even go up to all-time highs, which is unlikely, but, nothing is impossible. But whenever they're doing rate cuts, usually market pulls back in a big way. And so far, we're not there yet. We didn't actually get not even one rate cut. And that is why I think the market's still grinding and going higher. But whenever that happens, guys, there will be selling. And why? Well, when they start doing rate cuts, it's the recession fear. And we all know that that fear actually, could be really a devastating blow to the investors, traders, everybody out there. And if that happens, a recession, even a mini recession, can cause a lot of issues for the market. So that is why we saw those, big 5% gap down on Nasdaq, and I think here on S&P was down like 3.5–4%, and that can still come into play once again. VIX is still elevated. A lot of people are counting VIX out completely. It's still elevated over $20, and that is not completely bullish. And you cannot just think that, oh, I'm just gonna buy this dip and ride this up. Still on a downtrend on daily time frame until I would say we get over 543. We can hold right here on SPY ETF. That would be more bullish for more upside, possibly going back up to all-time highs, or at least near all-time highs. Right now, going into tomorrow's session, you guys saw it, PPI and then CPI. So forget about technicals. Yes, they can work, but these data are so important for this market. Anything can happen tomorrow with that PPI. Let's say we gap over 535. In that case, early in the morning, and this could be regardless of what the data is, I'm looking to short if there is actually a huge gap up and go here. And if that's something like 539.43 to even a 543, that's going to be a nice shorting opportunity. And this is not something, I'm recommending that I'm going to hold. It could be a nice day trade, get a couple dollars down, 100%, 200%, and that's it. I'll be on my way making money and gone. Now, only if we get a gap up, right? Now, if there is a gap down tomorrow, how that look like tomorrow? Well, we did not actually get over 535 on bad data. Tomorrow, if there is a gap down, watch out for the support down here, guys. And this is going to be critical. 527.54 5-day moving average, and this previous high right here, that's going to be around a 525 to 524. If that's out, we're definitely going down in a big way. And that means coming back and retesting these lows down here, 510, and possibly this time closing this gap right here just under 506. So a lot of things are happening. There is still a lot of money to be made right here, regardless of what moves market actually does tomorrow, whether to the upside or to the downside. You can still make a lot of money. If this thing breaks under this 5-day moving average, more than likely that it would come down and close this gap, or at least retest this previous low down here, which is around 510. And also, if we gap up over 535, definitely there is going to be more upside. Let's say we don't go anywhere. In that case, wait for the data to get digested and see what the market does, and then you can play something. But I would not go in if it's flat. I'm not touching it. I'm going to see what the market does, and obviously there will be some sort of a move, whether it's up or down here in the market soon as the data comes out at 8:30 a.m. And here's my X account, and if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. And there is no subscription, nothing here on X. Is totally free, and you can always ask me a question if you have right here on X. And here's some fantastic plays from today, and especially right here, guys. Amazon, we got in here on Amazon and closed out at 168 plus. This was a nice 35% play right here. Then we also got Starbucks. This was a fantastic trade today. This thing actually got up, I think, over 4%, right after opening, and we actually got puts on it. And this thing also came down. That was a 42% play right here on Starbucks. And UPS, it was kind of a smaller type of play. This thing did not really move that much, only I think 10-15%. So all these trade ideas, and especially even swing trade ideas right here, we got into DIA calls, and this one also paid today. So all these trade ideas are available on Patreon, and especially if you guys want to support the channel and you're serious about trading. I'm not talking about some window shopping, guys. Serious people with serious trading skills. They want to learn more and they want to grow and become a better trader. Then check out that link down below in the description for Patreon. On Triple Q, it's up 0.22%. So if you look at my screen, look at this again, orange line, 452.44. We got up to 454, and this was one of the trade ideas that I actually had today. Unfortunately, one of my Patreon member, he's like a friend, Joe, he took it and it was 200%, and I was live watching it and did not actually play it, even though I did put out 455 to 456. That is where I want to short Triple Q. It did not exactly get up there to this level to close this gap right here, but who cares? Money is money, right? 200%, anybody would take that any day. Came back down to 450 and he immediately got like 200%. And now it's trading over that critical level. Now, what happened today? If you look at my screen, we actually got down to 448.55. And this was that previous all-time high, 449. Immediately, we found buyers and also we found sellers. And in that case, we got this doji indecision candle with low volume on it today. Well, of course, because of that PPI and CPI coming out, not a lot of money coming into the market, not a lot of big buyers coming in. And that's a signal when you see low volume here in the market. And I think these buyers are just waiting with the money, and they will just go and buy the dip if the data is good and the market is pushing higher. If not, they're looking to short the market. So these are some simple scenarios that can play out tomorrow and also on Wednesday. Now here on Qs, there will be strong support at 449. That's going to be a line in the sand for tomorrow. Underneath that level, 445, 440, 432. To the upside, the more time we spend over 449, we definitely have a shot to close this gap just under 456. And over that, we might be going up to 460 and then even retesting negative sloping 20-day moving average 462. Now, if we actually take out 462 and Triple Qs right here holds 462, that's going to be more bullish for more upside, possibly coming back up and closing some of these gaps right here on top. On Dow Jones, it's down 0.35%, and we actually played Dow Jones today, and this thing definitely paid, but it's not a lot of money because the move was small. We only caught $2 to the upside, but again, guys, money is money, right? And you can see DIA here pretty much got up to 395, got a rejection, came back and not holding, and that is not a good signal for the market. Dow Jones not holding red line 50-day moving average 395, and now it's holding 5-day moving average right here 392. So under 392, you're going to see a flush easily down to 385.83 and then even 384. If this thing gaps up tomorrow, or maybe during the trading session goes over 395, in that case, we're going to see a move up to 398 and then this gap just under 401 on Dow Jones. On IWM, it's down 0.90%, so this one also not looking good. And if you look at my screen, we actually went nowhere today, and this thing got up to 207, close to 207 again, came back all the way down to 203.82, and down on the day almost 1%. So here, if you look at my screen, IWM pretty much holding 204.87, not even holding, I would say. It's trading near 5-day moving average and under the 5-day moving average. Now, if that's out, we cannot get over 207 to 208 50-day moving average. We're definitely not heading higher, and this thing gets under 204.87, or I would say 205, which is trading under 205 right now as we speak. Under 205, we can see a flush down to 198 again, and who knows, maybe even a new low down to 193. Now, things can change over 207.97. So I would say 208 50-day moving average, this red line, over that level, you're going to see 210 to 211, that previous all-time, or not all-time, the high from this big consolidation right here, previous high, 210 to 211, and only we get over that level. I mean, if you look at my screen, guys, what happened is simple here. We actually got a fake breakout, and we were trying to hold this breakout, and guess what? We came back into this chop box again. So it's back to where this thing was before, and no breakout, no confirmation, no follow through. As soon as that sell-up started, this thing fell behind, and now it can come back again and it can go down more unless we get over this weekly resistance right here, 210 to 211, previous high where we got rejection multiple times, and then we can talk about possibly going up and filling this gap at 215. Until then, definitely under 205, watch out for a move down to 200 to 198, and that is totally possible this week with CPI and PPI on Russell. On VIX, it's up 1.67%, and you can see, I mean, not only this consolidation, and even before that, that 18 to 19 bucks or even 20, guys, that is a strong level here on VIX. And what we got today, a bounce off of that level. This thing went back up and it's elevated over 20, and that is not actually a bull case for the market going into tomorrow's session. So watch out. As long as the VIX remains over 20, we can still go down here in this market. Over 20, this thing can move back up to 24. And over 24, watch out for a move up to 26 and then 30. And we can talk about more upside. I mean, this thing going ballistic last week, especially on Monday, going up to what, 65? And we only saw a 5% pullback. And, it's unfortunate. A lot of people are new here, and I'm not making fun of you guys. Trust me, that's not what I'm doing. When you see a pullback like 3-5% in the market, that is not crash. And I got so many comments, people talking about, oh, market just crashed, this happened, that happened. And guess what? Whenever I see those comments, I usually pick up a lot of dips. And I did Monday, and guess what? Still selling, guys. Pretty much every day, selling out of some position here and there, and money just coming in because I bought those dips Monday on that big gap down. So, whenever there is fear, buy fear. Don't get scared. That is the message for you guys, because whenever you see fear out there, that is a money-making opportunity. And if you get scared, well, you will end up chasing at the top. And again, you're not going to be a winner. You're going to be a loser again, chasing at the top. So VIX, 20 remains a critical level. Over 20, more upside, and below 20, more downside and more upside for the market.